Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your educator. I warmly welcome you all on our YouTube platform where we in today's video are going to move forward with the literary theory and the theorists etc. that we have been covering. If you have seen or watched the previous videos, usme humne post-structuralism as a school we have talked about. The major theorists, their books etc., the terms, concepts they have coined or given which are related to the post-structuralist school, they have been talked about already. So for reference and all, because the school that we are going to refer to today is related to post-structuralism only. So what is it? Which is the school that we are going to talk? We are going to talk about the school of deconstruction. Now, before directly jumping on to who was majorly associated with this school, what is the introductory phase, so on and so forth, I want to give you a brief, background of post-structuralism. A little bit about that, because this is sort of application of post-structuralist viewpoints on literary text, on other fields as well, not just bound on literature but other fields of knowledge as well. Correct. So deconstruction at around 1960s and 70s, this school also developed, right? And it is continuing till the present times. So its origin jo hai, it's 1960s ke around, when even post-structuralism as a school was there. The major proponent of this school is Jacques Derrida. He is known as the father of deconstruction because he is associated, he is the pioneer of this school. Now we will be gradually moving forward with what it is, what are the major goals of this particular literary theory wala school, and who are the proponents and all. So in this video, we will just be talking about the introductory phase, the introduction related to deconstruction, what are the major tenets and characteristics of this school. So, what is it? It is a philosophical activity, agar hum deconstruction ki baat karte hain, which involves critiquing concepts and hierarchies considered fundamental to traditional criteria of certainty, identity and truth. These are the three fields that the deconstructionist theorist is going to challenge, is going to critique, is going to question. Correct? So when you are, and hum log ne post-structuralism as a school ke bare mein, when we talked about it, we already have talked that post-structuralists were of the point of view that there is no one school, there is no one structure which is there. Even if we are talking about language, even if we are talking about our daily lives and all, one truth or one explanation of any event might have different meanings for different people. So आप हमेशा ये नहीं कह सकते कि एक ही truth है. There is no single truth is what the post-structuralists believed in, and the deconstructionists took that thing forward and started applying the same thing on literary texts, so on and so forth, right? So ये in theme, like certainty, identity and truth will be three major fields that they are going to question, challenge and critique. Then what is the goal of the school? To reveal the inherent complexities and uncertainties within texts and language, and not to provide definitive answers. Hum log ko, we do not need to provide any theory, any answer, any truths to any book, but rather what we are going to do, we are going to see how many possible answers to the same thing, to the same literary text can be there. Now, if you would have read Jane Austen or you would have read many other authors as well, there is some sort of understanding when the teacher asks you to do a critical analysis of any work. What you do is you try to present your interpretation of the work. This is a deconstructionist or a post-structuralist point of view, because now you are, the teacher is going to see that how many of you are presented, have presented different points of views. And she will give marks to each one of you. Correct? So for her, the multiplicity is important, and even for the deconstructionist the same thing happens, that उन्होंने reveal करना है the inherent complexities and uncertainties. If you can recall, we have in the previous videos talked about the binary oppositions, and we also tried to talk about Derrida's theory of difference, because Derrida is associated with this school. He gave us this theory which meant to differ and to differ as well, right? These are the two words that he gave us. Difference, जिसका एक amalgamation, he gave us a single word which has the combination of differing and differing. The meaning keeps on moving forward. There is no single one meaning there. If I use the word phone right now, you guys might think of different companies. You guys might think of different colors. Correct? So all those interpretations are correct. This plurality is the deconstructionist that they are viewing. They are saying कि language में कुछ भी हम लोग लिखते हैं, उस word का एक ही meaning हो, that is not at all required. What is required is that we see that yes, all types of answers, all types of truths are inherent, and we are going to see them through the usage of deconstructing the language. Correct? So according to Barbara Johnson, she is one critic, and she has tried to provide us with a definitive, she has tried to give us a definition of the deconstructionist school. Let's just read it. She said the deconstructionist deconstruction is not synonymous with destruction. It is not at all synonymous with destruction. It is deconstruction. If you read the words, it is made up of two words, de and construction. Correct? It is in fact much closer to the original meaning of the word analysis itself. Because you are going to break the text into bits, you are going to analyze the text, you are not going to destroy it totally, but rather chunks mein usko you are going to analyze, which etymologically means to undo. So you are opening the paper, you are reading the book, and whatever interpretation you are gaining, you are jotting it down, then you read the next page, you find another interpretation, so on and so forth. So you are analyzing the text. That's the literal meaning of deconstruction. A virtual synonym for to deconstruct. The deconstruction of a text does not proceed by random doubt or arbitrary subversion, but by the careful teasing of varying forces of signification within the text itself. What meaning does it hold? So it's still, the post-structuralist school still talks about sign, signifier, signified, but it also tries to talk about it in the sense that the meaning keeps on shifting. The meaning keeps on moving forward. There is no single meaning to any truth. There is no single structure to any truth, to any word, etc. Correct? If anything is destroyed in a deconstructive reading, it is not the text. Text को destroy नहीं कर रहे हैं, but the claim to an unequivocal domination of one mode of signifying over another. If any person has written a text which is feminist in its stance and you are reading it, you try to find some other hidden motives there. You see that even if the text has the feminist stance, उसमें subaltern women की voices जो हैं, they are still the ones which are marginalized. So you find that the text itself is trying to talk about feminism, but still it does not hold true for the subaltern women. Correct? So that is what you are doing. You are reading the text, you are analyzing it, you are undoing or you are challenging. Yes, of course, you want equal rights. We know women want equal rights. But at what cost? We see that women at times are also being seen जो दूसरी women के साथ unequally behave करती हैं. Correct? So that is what you are going to question there. This is the deconstruction that you are going to do. A deconstructive reading is a reading which analyzes the specificity of a text's critical difference from itself. So it can have a meaning out from there. Correct? This is what she said. So two foundational texts have been there. Both of them are written by Derrida, himself. What are the names and the time and again? ये क्वेश्चन नेट में पूछा गया है. Structure, Sign and Play in the Discourse of Human Sciences, which was published in the year 1966. Then we have Of Grammatology, 1967, which was translated by Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak, which we have talked about in the previous videos of post-structuralism as well. Correct? Then let's just look at one or two examples of deconstruction. Analyzing a text, deconstruction might focus on ambiguous phrases or contradictory elements, challenging the reader to question conventional interpretations. The reader is challenged that please open your mind, broaden your perspectives and see. Look through your lens rather than what the author, what the audience wants you to. Correct? So here, if you are reading any piece of paper, if it says that it is just and just talking about Marxism, but you find some another stance there, your stance is valid. Correct? So there is no something, at times आप कई text पढ़ते हो जिसकी endings ambiguous होती हैं, right? Recently, I was reading Manto's story, Kali Salwar. If somebody would have read it, तो ending जो है, a person is like surprised. And then when I was talking to one of my friends, one of my colleagues here, she gave her point of view, right? And I gave mine. So what we understand from here is that the multiple, arrangements along with the interpretations that the people have, all of them are what? All of them are valid. All of them are authentic, and that's what we need to find by reading a text. Correct? Look at the second example. Binary opposition of masculine and feminine, theorists might challenge the assumed stability of these categories, exploring how they are socially constructed and fluid. Even Foucault ne, jab hum post-structuralism mein we read about Foucault talks about sexuality, and he published, a book in 3 volumes, The History of Sexuality, and there he tries to talk about how it has been there, sexuality as some sort of discourse or knowledge or episteme has been spread through the various oral narratives or various written narratives as well. So, we see that the deconstructionists can challenge that if a person, we all have, agar normally hum log baat kare, we females also have some sort of masculinity or masculine emotions in our own selves, and the males can have feminine side to them. Correct? But the deconstructionists, they can challenge that my body does not make me who I am. It's who I feel that I belong to. So they can answer, they can question, they can pose anything, they can challenge, critique these complexities, जिनको आपने सिर्फ बोल दिया कि masculine और feminine 2 categories में you have divided. They will say, even if these binary oppositions exist, we are not going to just believe these 2 binary oppositions. There might be some other way of thinking about things as well. These things, because of the fact that through power, through social construction they have been made, we can challenge them. This is what the post-structuralist school deconstruction believes in. Then this is a school which is multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary as well, because इसमें deconstructionist texts you can read, right? You can deconstruct literature, you can deconstruct Plato's philosophy, where he gives us the idea, the forms, etc. But how? Why is that just and just related to Plato? Why not some other philosopher? They can challenge these things. Linguistics, of course, the sword, the language, the structuralism that he has tried to give, that how language can have only one meaning. The deconstructionists are going to judge it. If you would have read French Lieutenant's Woman, the ending there is also ambiguous. And there's this one movie on Netflix that I can't really recall the name of. I think it's Black Mirror. And there's a book as well. There's a very, badi si novel, moti si novel there, that's there. That's a gaming novel which is there. And usme aisa hai, in the Black Mirror movie, there's some sort of, I am saying that I am unable to recall the name properly. So if I'm wrong, just pardon me for that. But each and every time you go on Netflix, you watch that movie, you will see that the ending each time varies. Does not make it a wrong movie. makes it interesting, makes us believe that one thing, one way of thinking can have, different impacts and different interpretations based on how people are going to take it. Even agar aap wo book padhte ho, the book which is where, on which the Netflix series and movie is based on, the book also, if you keep on reading it for the second time, third time, fourth time, it will have a different ending. So, the deconstructionists challenge these notions. They say that yes, of course, they are okay, but of course, we should not be just stabilizing the meaning, fixating or fixing the meaning. Correct? So, this is what we were supposed to do in the introduction related to deconstruction. We are going to move forward with the major theorists, their books that are there, and also certain PYQs, certain important theorists, etc. in the upcoming videos. So, stay tuned. I'll see you guys again. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye-bye.